Welcome back, everybody. We are back in Adam's shop. We are doing some basic maintenance on the FTR. We're going to be doing chain maintenance, just quick clean and re-lube, and we're doing the front and rear brake pads on the FTR. They were a little low, and we figured why not change them before we put the bike away for the season. It's not yet. We're still going to be riding for a little bit, but you know, we have them. Why not change them? So the chain isn't too terrible, but I'm pretty consistent about getting them clean quite regularly. So here's a little footage of what the chain looks like now. Yes, the bike is dirty. I know. Peace. All right, and we are done with the chain maintenance. As you can see, Adam's there in the background. He's still working on the calipers. He's working on the left side caliper right now in the front. But here, let me give you a quick show of what the chain looks like now. And that, my friends, is the way I like to keep the chain on my bike. So I use a lot of the Muck Off products. I use the Muck Off Bio Degreaser to clean the chain. I also use their protectant sometimes. And then after that dries up, I then use either their Extreme, usually their Extreme Lube, which is kind of like it comes out kind of like a thick jelly. It sprays out clean. And then once that chemical inside the can that keeps it very liquidy dissolves or evaporates, it becomes a little bit thicker and sticky. So it doesn't run. There's not a lot of run or a lot of mess as you're cleaning. There's still some mess. You've got to be careful with the surroundings, your wheels, your brakes. But once that's on there, it doesn't fling all over the place. You can overdo it and get the lube to kind of throw around. So I tend to really get it on there, let it sit for a while, and then just with a clean rag, just give it a light rub, so it gets any of the excess off that might fling off during the acceleration. But that's it. Once that's done, I rarely have any lube anywhere randomly to clean. Additionally, most of the time, because it's a thicker oil or a thicker lube, I actually just lube the inner portion of the chain, the outside and the top. I would guess if, let me just point at it here. I would mostly put the lube up here. So as the bike goes through its turns, the centrifugal force will actually push the lube through to the other side of the chain. I do give it a light coat before I'm done, but I put a majority of the lube on top and on the sides as I'm lubricating it. Anyway, let's see what Adam's doing on the caliper.
It's already cleaned and done, so
And that's the big difference. I would have just changed them. Adam cleans them.
You need to clean them, because whenever you're pressing the pistons in, all the stuff that's on the pistons, it just gets into the seals and possibly damages them or gets stuck in there sometimes. So it's always wise to just give them the clean. It doesn't take much time. It doesn't take anything, and it saves life for the brake cylinders.
Okay. And this is why I let a professional change my brakes. I would have just changed them. It's a bad habit. He's right. You absolutely should at least clean
them to spec.
And torque them to spec. I would always. Now I am older and wiser, as we talked about. I would use a torque wrench when doing bolts on my bike.
And put glue on those bolts.
I guess that's something I was never a big Loctite guy. Certain things, especially on a motorcycle, certain things will vibrate and might come loose. So I would put Loctite on that, but. Brake calipers, stuff like that. Axle nuts. I would never really think about it.
Harley guys, put Loctite on every single bolt on your bike, every single one, because they just vibrate so much.
That's part of the appeal, right? People love that Harley aesthetic. People love that, that lobe, that choppy lobe that a lot of the Harleys have, which adds a lot of vibration. It's cool. I'm not knocking on it, but it will shake everything loose. So good tip.
Calipers pulling out on themselves, just crazy stuff. So make sure you put the glue where it needs to be. It's mostly in the manuals, the shop manuals. They say where you need to put the glue, but often it's not enough.
Well, and I guess the other thing too is like how many home mechanics have the shop manual? You know, I probably need to get the shop manual for this bike. I keep saying I'm going to do it. I will do it, but you know, if you're changing brakes or changing oil or, you know, something simple, you know, you don't necessarily think. You just loosen the bolts and you retighten it. But, you know, those specs are set from the factory for a reason. So something I've learned probably the hard way, and Haddam helps keep me reminded of that all the time. So yeah, man, Loctite, especially for you Harley guys, anybody on a motorcycle in general, bikes vibrate, and torque specs. Anyway, peace.